to another episode of In the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers. I'm Luscious Barbie and I'll be guiding through today's episode. I'm so excited to present today's guests. On today's episode, we have an amazing sports episode. I'm gonna give you 3-time All-American, 1-time national champion, and record holder, Dallas' own Dakota Wright. We also have her father, former TCU and CFL athlete, Cam White. Not only that, it keeps on coming. We're gonna give you Shereka Wright, and this is the head coach at UTA. And now, the moment that we've all been waiting for. The man in the kitchen, connecting the dots from entertainment to food, giving us wisdom every day. Give it up for our host, Ricky Booker.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of In the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers. I'm your host, Ricky Booker. There are so many things in the world that brings us together. Good food, little conversation does it every time. And in the Kitchen with the Breakfast Brothers, we love feeding your soul. On today's guest, I got a father-daughter duo. She's a celebrity youth athlete on her way to the Junior Olympics. And also her father's a former TCU CFL player. Let's give a warm welcome for Dakota White and Cam White. Hey, give me a hug, come on in here. You didn't come over here fast like you do on the track. You're on TV now, look. You're gonna be on TV a lot more too. We're gonna talk a little bit. This segment, I always ask somebody what they done in the kitchen that was bad. We're gonna talk sports. We're gonna get to all of that. We're gonna see how good you is in the kitchen. Tell me something that you've done in the kitchen that just wasn't quite right.
One time I was making food and I was making chicken in the fryer, and I accidentally didn't cook it that long. And
In the fryer?
Yeah.
How old are you again, Dakota?
8.
You 8 years old. Cam, you ought to be ashamed of yourself letting this little girl mess with that fryer. Come on, we're gonna finish telling you what you did. Let's tell you what you did.
And I didn't cook the chicken right because it was still blood, and then my mom was eating it, and then it was still blood in it, and then she said she almost got salmonella.
So she had to tell your mom that was been on her if she would have did it. I got a trick. I'm gonna tell you how I do it at Breakfast Brothers. When I get a whole bunch of chicken, I put like 100 pieces in at one time. And the chicken will look done on the outside, right?
Yeah.
I got what you call a poker, and I pull it up and I start poking it. And what that does is that make the chicken breathe. So if there's any blood vessels in it, this kind of sounds disgusting because we eat chicken, a lot of chicken. It's gonna clear it up. So we're gonna get that next time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Dad, what you got going on in the kitchen?
Who, me? So I think when we came down one day, and I think we had Nickelodeon down, they had me cooking breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
So usually I make a fire omelet, everything fire. But I forgot to put the oil in it this time. So I ended up making a scrambled omelet. I was like, oh, I thought it was gonna be an omelet, but it turned into a scrambled egg.
All the stuff that I cook, and as long as I've been cooking, that's the only thing. I'm gonna keep it real. Rice and omelets I cannot make. I don't know what it is about that. You know, the tricks and flipping and all that.
I learned how to cook mine. They teach you just watching the people. Like I was like, okay, you put the oil in there, you cook your little sausage.
Oh, that's a jailhouse omelet.
Yeah, and then I said, okay, let me go back to the house. I tried. I said, oh, mine pretty good. Mine kind of fat.
But anyway, we're gonna talk a little bit more about what y'all got going on and what you're getting ready to come up on and how fast you run too. As a matter of fact, she's the youngest so far guest that I've had on the show. I had another young guest that had a boutique. She was I think she was 12. You 8. And you fast. So we're gonna talk a little bit more, but we're gonna go back and see what Luscious has going on first.
Who I'm here with, and what do you get?
My name is Kenny. I'm getting the shrimp and grits.
Okay, and how you like it?
Well, honestly, it's really about the best shrimp and grits I ever had. You know, to be honest, and I'm being honest. I go to a restaurant. Usually, I find one item at a specific restaurant, and for this particular restaurant, it's the shrimp and grits. They're the best bar none.
The shrimp and grits is the best he ever had. So you just need to come in and try it too. Or you can order it online at www.breakfastbrothers.com. Let's go.
All right, we're here with the father and daughter duo, and they ordered chicken and waffles and pancake and catfish. That's a lot of food for you, good Dakota. You gonna eat all that?
Yeah.
You can take it with you though. And our lovely Tanetta is bringing it.
Dakota,
Dakota and Cameron, you ready for us to feed your soul?
Oh, you know, I'm ready for it, you know.
We're gonna let you go ahead and let y'all eat. I always let people go ahead and get their food first and get a taste before we start talking. We're gonna talk just like we do at home. We're gonna eat and talk. Y'all gonna eat and talk. Girl, you better eat. Go ahead and eat. Get your bite in. We finna start doing a lot of talking. Once again, we got catfish, buttermilk pancakes, red velvet waffle, fried chicken, which y'all already been there before. You been to Breakfast Brothers before? You have? Dad had. Well, now you get to taste it now. Now he gotta bring it. You like it? Okay, we got the thumbs up from Dakota. So we're gonna jump right in this because I'm really excited about what it is you got going on being an 8-year-old and one of the fastest in the nation. So Dad, let's talk a little bit about where did this come about? Or just all of a sudden she just wanted to start running, or is something you seen in her?
Man, so she was 3, turning 4. My boy was like, man, you should just bring her out there to just try out. So what I did was I took her out there and she just had form. She wasn't really fast, like she's 3 to 4, but she had the motivation to just go run. So then after that, she turned 5. I started really I started getting her a trainer, everything. Form was still just intact, perfect form. And then COVID hit. So when COVID hit, I just shut everything down. Shut it down. I ain't want to get sick. I said the kid, my baby, more important. So I just shut everything down. And then coming back out, when they reopened everything, we ended up taking her back out there. And then she ended up running for a team called Express. And she just
Didn't miss a beat.
Didn't miss a beat. I'm like, sheesh, you rolling. So running against 7 and 8-year-olds, just rolling.
Other than COVID, what was the obstacles you had to overcome?
Other than COVID, I would say a lot of hatred when it came to just people in the city. I'm thinking, getting a lot more support, but it was just a lot of hate just because, you see a little girl, marketing, I'm doing this. I'm like, everybody, we got the same 24 hours.
Right.
So, I put my kids first. They're my priority.
You better.
Hey,
or somebody else will.
hey, their futures matter. That's how I felt. So I just started marketing because I feel like everything was a marketing thing. I started seeing college athletes all on social media trying to get put out. So I said, let me do my baby like that because she looked like she got some talent. And it just took off from there.
So you had a little background in yourself when it comes to being an athlete.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You're a TCU and CFL player?
Oh yeah, so I've been playing ball since I was 5. I went to Arlington Bowie and I transferred second semester of my junior year, went to DeSoto. Came out as a 4-star, had 14 offers, chose TCU. And from there,
Stayed home.
I had, I dealt with like concussion problems. I got hit like 20,000 times, take concussions, so I wasn't supposed to keep playing.
Right.
But I ended up transferring my 5th year to Grambling, and then I left there after I got robbed at gunpoint. I had to face that. I seen a bullet, like my life flash in front, so I left.
One of the things you had to overcome too.
Hey, so I seen that. I didn't even get to talk to my babies that morning before we got robbed. So then I ended up leaving there, like the next year, right after state fair class game, I left.
So I'm gonna ask you, Dakota, what you think about all this? You've been, we're gonna ask your dad, but you've been on several TV shows. What was your favorite show you've been on so far?
My favorite show, Nickelodeon, was my favorite show because at first when I was gonna be on Nickelodeon, I thought that at Nickelodeon, I thought I was gonna be at Nickelodeon, and it was really at my house with my dad.
But you was at home filming for Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna ask you this too. What you think makes you stand out more than anyone? If Dad can help you with this question too, if you can't get it, what you think makes you stand out? What you like the most for people to see out of you?
To see out of me, like, so people see it the most, they stare at me. I would say like,
You just like to run. That's all you just like to run. Okay. So as long as they watching you run and beat people, that's all that matters. Okay. So Dad, let's talk a little bit about the brand, the Smiley Speed. How did you develop that?
Shoot, you see how you see kids, they make them ugly faces when they run?
Yeah.
She didn't make the ugly faces, all she did was smile. So I'm just watching her smile, so I started just thinking, I was like, man, let me think of something. And I came up with the little Smiley Speed, so now I just said, I'm gonna brand her like that, I'm gonna make her own little stuff, started working on the hoodies, just different accessories for her, so she can just start making her money on her own.
What's all the networks that interviewed her so far?
Channel 5, so we had Channel 4, Channel 5, Channel 8, we just did something with NBC Nightly News today actually.
And she mentioned Nickelodeon.
Yeah, she mentioned Nickelodeon. What else? We got just different things. Like a lot of people just start
No
hitting us
days
up.
off.
Oh yeah, No Days Off. That was with Whistle Sports. They came down and filmed it for a day. Nickelodeon did the same thing. So it's just people. They come out the woodworks, and we just let it.
So do you have any days off since you say no days off? Came to see you?
No.
You don't? You love it too, I can tell. I can see why you call it the brand Smiley, because she's smiling right now.
Smile.
That is one thing that I say all the time, because you know me, I love doing what I do. I wake up every day, 7 days a week, like it's the first day of school. You know how that feeling is the first day of school? Tell me how the first day is. You lay your clothes out the night
Yeah,
before?
like, so on the first day of school, I made a video on YouTube where I was gonna wear on the first day of school. We had a dress code where I couldn't wear these sandals because they had holes in it. And I couldn't wear the skirt because it got the things at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
But the shirt I could wear, but it was too big at first, so I never wore it.
How'd you feel?
I felt good.
See, that's how I feel every
Because
day.
there was in kindergarten, I met a lot of friends, and then they went to different schools. But there was this one friend, her name was Mia. She stayed my friend still, and now this year she's going to a different school, and I will miss her.
She just gave you a shout out, Mia. You ain't gonna miss her. She gonna still be watching you, especially if you running fast on that TV and on them YouTubes. But also, what's the road to the Junior Olympics? What's the date of that? When y'all?
So Junior Olympics is July 31st through August 5th.
Okay.
This week we have regionals, the qualifiers. So they take the top 6 out of the region from each event. So we just gonna go there and do what we do, dominate. We'll be in Des Moines, Iowa.
That's in Des Moines, Iowa?
Yeah, Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah.
Okay,
We'll go out there.
And I understand too, you guys, you got to GoFundMe as well.
Oh yes, sir. Yeah, we started GoFundMe. I usually start one every year. Last year, I think she raised like $3K.
Okay.
This year, I think we shoot for like 25. So
You have a QR code too?
Yeah, we got a QR code. I sent it to
Okay.
Leslie,
So if there's anything that the viewers would like, we'll have the QR code GoFundMe for young Dakota, 8-year-old, top in the nation. And it'll be at the bottom of the screen. You can just scan the QR code to the GoFundMe as well, so we can help her out this year. Tell everybody how they can find you if they want to keep up with you. You got an Instagram?
Yeah, I have an Instagram and I have a YouTube.
What's your Instagram?
I don't know.
The Instagram is iSprint. Oh, the Instagram is iSprintCoda15. YouTube is iSprint Coda. Everything that you can think for every platform is iSprint Coda15. That's ISPRINT 15. Coda 15. KOTA 15.
And any way they can keep up with you, Dad, just for any of the other events, because I know you might do a little promoting for Dakota as well.
Oh yeah, you find me on Instagram, CamWhite88, or on Facebook, Cameron White. You'll see a nice looking brother in the red.
Look at it, he's throwing a shout out. You single or something, man?
Nah.
Okay, this is throwing no shout out. Talking about the nice looking brother. Okay.
Nah.
Dakota, nice having you on the show. You keep running fast. You hear me? You watch the movie, you watch the series Flash. Have you ever seen that? You fast as him. Flash, you seen that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
On CW33. Oh, he fast. Now, if you can beat him, you got something.
Beat him, hey, shit. We ain't got to run track.
Yeah, you ain't got to run track no more.
I can
But-
cheer.
Hey, whatever you want.
But you know, your dad was out running a lot of people catching the football. So can you beat him?
Well, my dad, so when we go to the park, I would
Here we
race
go.
him home. And usually he'd be in front of me, and I'd say, okay, I need to speed up. And I'd be right by the house. He'd be like, oh, girl, you fast.
Like, she'll see me
Oh,
pull
girl,
down.
you
She'll see
fast.
me drive up. She'll pull, try to
He'd be
race.
like, my hamstring. I need
Yeah, he in the old man's club now.
Don't feel me.
Cam, Dakota, thank you guys for coming on the show, and keep going, and much more success, and hopefully the Junior Olympics, you're gonna make it to the Junior Olympics. We're gonna help out with that. And also, I'll tell you too, we got a I won't call it a GoFundMe, but we got a fund at Breakfast Brothers too. I'll help out with that.
Oh,
as
yes,
well.
sir. Appreciate y'all.
So stay tuned. Coming up next, we got the head basketball coach of the women's basketball team at UTA, Shereka Wright. Stay tuned.
How can you say you haven't been to Breakfast Brothers yet? Where we do more than breakfast.
Our next guest coming up, she's a former WNBA, and now she's the women's head basketball coach at University of Texas at Arlington. Let's give a warm welcome for Shereka Wright. Hey, come on in here.
Thank you for having me.
Favorite person.
Appreciate it.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Come on in here. Y'all kicking people's behinds.
Listen, we trying to make a name for ourselves.
Y'all definitely doing that, and I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank
Was it
you.
3 years in now?
3 years in, about to start year 4 now.
Man, I'll be watching y'all clips and keeping up with y'all promotion. And I ain't just saying this because you became my favorite coach. You just doing your thing. Is how you're recruiting and the players that you're looking for. I know we supposed to be talking food, but when it come to the sports, I really like that in because of course that's my background. I coached my son up to what he was doing until he didn't want to do it no more.
Right.
But we always got to get to this part of it. I know you eat a lot of breakfast brothers, but I want to know, do you ever tear up the kitchen?
Listen, I don't tear up the kitchen like I tear up the basketball court, but this is like, I can dib and dab. I need to learn how to cook because I got a 3-year-old, but that's, my mom and dad kind of do that. They're from the South.
Okay.
So that's bad, and I really don't really cook in the kitchen, but that's like why I can go out and get great people like you to be able to do that.
And I appreciate it and the support that you give us, and the ladies love the food, so
They love
I can
it.
tell you. So I'm not going to hold that against you because normally I clown people when they can't cook, but...
I mean, I can warm up the water and stuff.
But you are cooking. When you're cooking up they call it cooking up those recipes in those playbooks. It all makes sense then.
Exactly.
All makes sense.
Absolutely.
But after eating breakfast brothers, them girls got to run extra miles, don't they?
Listen, we was back on the court today on a Monday, and it was all defense. We're all defense this week, and so they had to get down in the stance, and they're working off that food that they had this past weekend. So, but it was good though.
Okay. When we get down to sit down, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about your past and your future and what made you decide to become a coach after the WNBA, what it was. We're gonna get into all of it.
Awesome.
All right, we're here at the sit down with Shereka Wright, and she ordered chicken and pancakes, and our lovely Tanetta's bringing it.
Shereka, great place to feed your soul. Yes, definitely to
She's
feed
been
my
feeding
soul.
her soul ever since she's been in
I
Arlington.
have. Listen, I look forward to this. I didn't eat nothing all day, so
Oh,
I have to
okay,
make sure
so-
I save for this
okay.
opportunity. I'm
I'm
excited.
gonna let you dig in before we start talking.
I'm gonna just get a little taste of it, and I'm gonna take this home for me for dinner
yeah.
tonight.
Once again, like I said, you got the buttermilk pancakes and the fried chicken wings.
You don't miss a beat.
Yeah. and like I say, we have to. We don't necessarily cook it right here on the set, but we have to pre-cook it, and it's still the same.
It's still good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But all right, we're gonna get right into it because I want to really know all the things you got going on, the success story that you have. But getting started, what's the background of you getting started overall?
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost, got started in basketball. My mother was big with working in YMCA's. My father was in the military, was in an army, and so we have lived abroad, lived in Germany for 7 years, and then had an opportunity to come back to the States, and I was born in Fort Riley, Kansas.
Okay.
And we lived in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and then we finally moved to Fort Hood, Texas, where my dad was stationed at. But we ended up moving into a little town right outside of Killeen called Copper's Cove. And that's really when my career really kind of started taking off. We had middle school, 7th and 8th grade, and then high school is really kind of when the name kind of started to take off a little bit for me.
Up in the South, never heard of the town. I've heard of Fort Sill because that's in Lawton. I'm
Yep.
originally from Oklahoma
Yep,
City. so
absolutely.
I know all about that. And then, so Fort Cove, what was the name of the high school?
So Copper's Cove High
Copper's
School,
Cove, that's what-
went
I put
there.
Fort and Cove. I
that's
want to
okay.
keep her on the base, but go ahead.
That's okay. So a lot of names everybody's probably familiar with RG3, Charles Tillman, who both played in NFL, and then obviously for myself, definitely had a lot of great athletes that came through that area, especially with military,
Right.
kids that had been there. So well known, great time for me, and at that time going out from 1996 to 2000. The career really took off for me when we had a chance to play in a big time tournament called Nike Tournament of Champions, and nobody even knew about Copper's Cove, right? They can't even find that on the map.
Right.
Nobody knows, and we ended up going out there beating, the #1 team in the nation at that time, and so that's kind of how my name kind of took off a little bit, and recruiting kind of just took off for me, and basketball really, really took a turn as my career did.
And your knowledge of basketball is phenomenal. So What college did you end up landing?
Yeah, so I ended up going to Purdue University. That's in West Lafayette, Indiana. You know, my big thing is family is very important to me, and so it was important for me to have family that came to watch me play. So my mom and dad ended up moving to St. Louis, Missouri, but I also have family that's in the Indianapolis area, which is about an hour away from West Lafayette, south there. So it worked out perfect. Parents 4 hours away, and I also have family that's in Indianapolis is an hour away. So I knew academics, I knew athletics was really good. Christy Curry, who was the head coach there, recruited me. It was the only right fit for me to do that.
Purdue is a great college, so you went from the small town in Texas to Purdue. That's big. But you know, being that you traveled and you've been to Germany, you've been in the your parents is in the military, you come from a big family structure mindset anyway, so you understood that. And coming from Purdue, you know, let's talk a little bit about the career that you had in the WNBA.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was selected in the first round, the 12th pick in that for WNBA. Originally, I was drafted to the Detroit Shock with Bill Laimbeer. And I was like, oh, this is awesome, right? You know, the people that know Bill Laimbeer, and he was great, you know, came to a couple of games to watch me play. And I so happened, you know, the draft goes off, and I had to, you know, turn to watch, you know, the second round on a different channel. Luckily, I did, because I was traded in the second round to the Phoenix Mercury.
I always wondered, when sometimes on the trades and even during the draft, if the actual player, just say you get all dressed up and they have it in New York and you're sitting there, and you don't go to round 20 and that day you don't do that really happen? So you don't know sometimes.
It doesn't, you know, you don't know. And so what happens is it pops up, but then you end up getting a call from, you know, the GM and say, hey, listen, we're so excited. So it worked out perfect. You had the names of Diane Taurasi, you know, Ashley Robinson, who was from this area that I've known, playing against. That recruiting class was a big class for us. And so it worked out for us, to me, to be able to go to Phoenix, and I played 2 years in Phoenix.
That's big. And the one thing that I really want to acknowledge now, with all you've done with your career and where you're at now, you're the first, I won't say female, but black person, period, on UTA's campus in the history as a coach. How did that feel?
Well, first of all, I always talk about why I got into coaching, and it's always been about mentoring young people. I seen my mother do it for many, many years, and obviously seeing my father do it in the military. And being a servant leader is always what I talk about. It's always about giving and helping and educate. I had others who did it before me. You talk about C. Vivian Stringer and Dawn Staley and Carolyn Peck, the ones that have always had that success for black women. And so for me, and to be able to get this opportunity, it's only right for me to continue to strive for success. But more so than anything, to see young women look like me, that can be in that seat, can be a leader, and be at the table and lead is big for me.
And like I told you, I said earlier, I watched you. Today, I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't know you was in the WNBA until I got my notes today. But I can watch. I watch the way your films and the way you practice, and how you recruit, and how your players coach, to where I knew now that makes sense.
Right.
How you move. You actually coach your team like it's a WNBA team.
Right. It's only one way to coach. Right. Is have that pro style. And I think that's, you know, you got to have something that's going to attract families and recruits. And you know, I always say that UT Arlington is a city of opportunities.
Right.
And you know, it's a great opportunity to be able to come and play at the College Park Center. One, to get the best education at a Tier 1 institution. And then secondly, you have a pro team that's playing in our own building, so you have the best of both worlds. So where you can hoop, you know, you can have an internship, and then you get the best education.
Now I'm gonna ask you this question, because I always wondered this too. Do you ever get that opportunity to scrimmage?
Oh no.
They won't let them do that?
No, we can't do that. But you know, I think the great thing about the Dallas Wings and those women that, you know, are, you know, on that team, they do take time to be able to speak to our players, recruits that walk through there. They're normal people. And we always talk about that we got to continue to grow the game. And anytime that I can support, you know, WNBA, I'll do that, just because I had the opportunity to play there.
And I see the way the girls love you, and the campus is beautiful. You know, it's just everything about, like you said, UT Arlington, and the Arlington period is some of the things that Mayor Jim Ross is doing there, and how they're building it up. Got the Olympics coming in 2026. it's exciting. So when the recruits come here, and do you ever hear they like, man, when they come to see and they say, man, I didn't know Texas had this and this was going on. You're right by the Cowboy Stadium and
Yes.
so on and so on. And Texas Live is a beautiful thing to have. And so if what make the recruiting visit easier is having those things, but I think your personality, regardless if you was in a small town somewhere, people will come play for you.
Right, it's about a brand, right?
Yes.
And you want to make sure that you establish your brand where families, where student athletes feel comfortable and they know. And I always talk about it's getting the most out of your experience in 4 years. And I want to make sure that I help them not only in the classroom, on the court, but also in the community pieces of it all.
Right.
And so, we really do try to make sure that we understand that, again, it's about them knowing that it is a business, right? But you want to make sure you have the best experience, but at the same time, it's about networking.
Yeah.
It's all about who you know.
Right. Okay. Let everybody know when the first game is, and where they can get tickets at and how they can keep up with everything.
So listen, fans, all right, we need your support. This is big to be able to come out and support. We're doing great things at UTA. So, November is when we're going to have those first games. Be previewing to social media. You can follow me on Instagram at swright50. Get on Twitter and follow us at UTA Lady Mavs. A lot of great content that's going on, but we need your support. NIL is huge right now with athletics, but more so anything is that we got a great thing that's going on at UTA. We need your support.
Absolutely, and I love it, and keep doing what you're doing with these young ladies. You're going to have much more success. And I appreciate you coming on the show as well.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me.
And today, guys, the viewers, if you've seen something that you like, the pancakes and chicken, pancakes and catfish, red velvet waffles, you can get them right on the menu. We have 3 locations. Our first location, Foundation, is Arlington. We open 6 days a week, close on Tuesdays, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And our new location is Redbird. That's 3704 West Camp Wisdom, Dallas, Texas. 7 days a week there, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And our newest concept is called Breakfast Brothers Express. Early a.m.s, and you can even get Breakfast Brothers after the nightclub, after a concert on the weekends. And we're there at 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays we're at midnight to 2 p.m. Come join us. Join the team. Come eat the food. Have a good time. Fellowship with us, as we say in the church world. I'm your host, Ricky Booker. See you guys next week.
Stir it up.